How are you, Africans and other viewers from different parts of the world? My name is teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, the world analyst from Tanzania, East Africa. Dear listeners, today I have brought you the novel called The Devil on the Cross by Ngugi wa Thiong'o from Kenya. This novel was written in the year of 1982. First, was written in Kikuyu language in the year of 1980, and later on translated by Ngugi wa Thiong'o in the year of 1982. Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote this novel to educate the Africans on the issue of capitalism and exploitation after independence of African's country, especially Kenya country. Also, Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote this novel to educate the new generation, all the readers of different retail books, to struggle against exploitation, corruption in their countries. Ngugi wa Thiong'o wrote this novel when he was jail in the year of 1977 up to 1978 by using a toilet paper. Okay. Listen, my friend from Zimbabwe called Mesie, my sister from Mozambique, no, from Zimbabwe, called Mesie. Okay, Mesie, you are warm welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, proceed.
The Devil on the Cross is a 1980 novel by Kenyan playwright Ngugi wa Thiong'o. It was originally written in the Kikuyu language titled Kaitani Mutaraba Ini. This is a novel that was famously written on pieces of tissue paper Ngugi received from the warden while he was serving time in prison for his political activism. The novel combines allegorical dreams as well as realistic narratives of everyday Kenyan life to explore the corporate involvement in the struggling Kenyan economy. The novel uses surreal elements to study themes such as capitalism, black corruption, neo-colonialism, greed, theft, sexual harassment, exploitation, poverty, and depression. A woman who is named Jacinta Waringa. In the midst of her troubles, she falls pregnant as a result of an affair with a rich, powerful man known as the rich old Ngorika. However, this rich old man rejects and abandons her, leaving her with the responsibility of taking care of the pregnancy and the child on her own. She goes back to secretarial school and finds a job at a construction company. But before long, misfortune comes knocking at her door again. A boss at that company, Ihara, makes advances towards her as well, and Waringa is forced to quit her job. Waringa falls on more hard times as she is unable to pay her rent and is evicted from a one-room apartment by 3 thugs on the orders of her landlord. Waringa, instead of hopeless despair and depression, goes to the railroad track where she intends to commit suicide. However, she encounters a man who intercepts her from doing so. The man persuades her to give her life another chance, presenting her with an opportunity to attend an event called the Devil's Feast. Waringa is Christian, so she is reluctant about this, but decides to go when she learns that the festival takes place in her parents' hometown of Ilmorog. She boards a bus called Mutatu, owned by the driver called Maura, a hard-working man who loves money and worships the ground rich people work on. She meets 4 other interesting people during her travel. Gaturia, who is a well-educated African studies professor working abroad. Muturi, a handyman industrial worker who is unfairly fired for asking for better wages. Ironically, by the same boss, Kihara, who coincidentally fired Waringa too for refusing his sexual advances. Wangari, the former female freedom fighter who fought in the Mau Mau rebellion, assigned by the police to point out the corrupt thieves at the festival for a pardon. Mwireri wa Mukirai, a wealthy businessman who thinks that this festival is actually a good thing because it glorifies robbery and corruption and believes that capitalism makes the world go round. Mr. Mwireri eventually clarifies to the other passengers what the Devil Festival actually is. Despite its name, the event is not really organized by the devil, he explains, but by a modern band of thieves and robbers. It is, in fact, a competition by an organization called the Organization for Theft and Robbery. The guests are supposed to vote for the 7 smartest, cleverest thieves and robbers in Ilmolog. This festival expects visits from foreign guests from international associations of thieves and robbers from America, England, Germany, France, Italy, Sweden, and Japan. All the passengers agreed to go to the feast. At the festival, Waringa and other passengers witnessed the local Kenyan bourgeoisie who are also members of the Modern Thieves and Robbers organization, each claiming the title of cleverest thief. Each man offers different vindictive capitalist plans to exploit Kenyan workers' labor that leaves them in extreme poverty. There is no honor among thieves. Mwireri suggests that the organization expel foreigners from Ilmolog to secure a larger share of the wealth. Then a riot then breaks out because of this. Waringa and Gaturia decide to stay as wardens, but Wangari and Muturi, horrified by what they have heard, decide to spark a revolt and call the police to arrest these self-proclaimed vindictive robbers. Muturi calls on the local workers, students, intellectuals, and farmers to march to the cave where the festival was held. But when the police arrived, they actually arrested Wangari and Njige. The Devil on the Cross is a 1980 novel. How modern black corrupt capitalism is the engine behind post-colonialism and its devastating effects on African economies. After 2 years had passed, Waringa is now engaged to Gaturia, her husband-to-be. Waringa has also fulfilled her lifelong dream of becoming a factory engineer through her tiresome and expensive education, and now owns an engineering garage. She is now also skilled in arms and a strong believer in Marxism. However, Waringa's old boss Kihara, with the support of American, Germany, and Japanese businessmen, buys the garage Waringa works in, intends to demolish it, and build a hotel for tourists on the site. Gatulia also takes Waringa to see his parents. She is acrimonious to witness some of the guests from the Devil's Feast are there, and some of them are actually his blood family. She conceals her resentment at first, but then she has the shock of a life upon discovering that Gatulia's father is in fact the rich old man who impregnated and abandoned her as a youngster. Waringa snaps and launches into a murderous rampage. She angrily shoots Gatulia's father on the side, along a few other guests she knows from the Devil's Festival, to liberate Kenya from these colonial capitalists.
If you have an African novel you want to see Dudu summarize, do not hesitate to comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more.
Thank you, my friend, my sister from Zimbabwe, Sister Mamsie. I think the dear listeners, viewers of our YouTube channel have read something to this novel, Devil on the Cross by Ngugi wa Thiong'o. This is teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, or teacher Kadonji, the Manju of Literature from Africa. Dear listeners, I think you have read something in this novel, our beloved novel by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, Devil on the Cross. I want to add something in this novel, especially on the issue of literal devices or figures of speech. Number one is the use of symbolism. Ngugi wa Thiong'o used the symbol of the word devil, which means the issue of the evils. It tends to represent the issue of evils, especially to the government, exploit the lower class. And also the issue of the full of imagery. When you read this novel, you create a picture on different things, or the narration of the author on the issue of the history of the main characters, Moringa. And also the use of personification, the word devil, it tends to personify on the issue of evils done by the government of Kenyans. And also another thing, the issue of title. Ngugi wa Thiong'o, as I said, it is a ionic title or symbolic title, because the devil on the cross. The title itself, it is a symbolic or ionic title. The setting, the main setting is Kenya, especially Nairobi. The style or technique employed by Ngugi wa Thiong'o, number one, the use of narration. Ngugi wa Thiong'o narrates the story on the issue of the government and the citizens. And also, Ngugi wa Thiong'o employed the use of point of view, especially the third person point of view, the pronoun he, she, and they. And also, Ngugi wa Thiong'o use the monologue or soliloquy to some characters made their own speech. After looking at the style employed, also you should know the plot summary. Ngugi wa Thiong'o used the chronological plot, some parts or events. Also, Ngugi wa Thiong'o employed the flashback or an chronological plot. It tells us the past events, the past events. And also, Ngugi wa Thiong'o used the language used in this novel, Devil on the Cross, is very simple, but he also used Gikuyu languages in his novel. Apart from the language, also you should look at the themes. The main themes is the issue of exploitation, another theme is capitalism, oppression, racism, and also the issue of classes emerged in his society, or the people of Kenya. As I said, the message: we should struggle against exploitation, oppression, corruption, and oppression in our society. Also, the conflict, the main conflict is political conflict, and revealed the political conflict in his novel between government and the citizen. And also economic conflict revealed, especially the lower class. Apart from conflict, also you should know the lowland position of women. Some women portrayed in this novel as the patriotic and also revolutionary struggle against the exploitation done by the government. Also, this novel is still relevant to our society. I've reached at the end of this novel analysis. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment below this video. Thank you, Mamsie from Zimbabwe. I think you have learned a lot. Thank you for listening.